Museum prices. Here are last year museum admission prices. Saturday $4.25, Sunday $9.25. There will be a 15% increase in all fares this year. What will be this year's average admission price? Show your work. We'll elaborate two options for doing this problem. So option 1 is the following. First, do the increase. So first, increase each value, Saturday and Sunday. And then after you have these two increased values, 15% increase, take the average. And so that's the natural thing to do. Probably students may take that approach. It actually turns out that if you actually do first the average and then the increase, the problem is a little faster and you have exactly the same answer. So both ways will be valid. So how do we do the first increase? Well, increase, you could take a calculator if you want, or you could use mental math for calculating a 15% increase. So I'm just going to put here the results. So if we have 4.25 and we do a 15% increase, there's several ways to do that. Probably the fastest with a calculator is to multiply by 1.15, right? So you'll get 4.8875. And if you do the same for the other value, 9.25, and you compute the 15% increase, you'll get actually 10.6375. And now if you average, which is just add them and divide by 2, you're looking for a average price, you'll get 776.25, and that's your answer. So you could use calculator, that's fine. So what I really recommend is test your students. If they're struggling a lot, you can, elaborate some calculations, but you would rather do the others just using a calculator. But emphasize on the concepts, right? Why do we compute increase like that? Why do we compute average like that? Now, option 2 is first do the average and then do the increase. And then increase. And why does it work? So this is important to ask your students. Why are we sure that if we take this second option, that first do the average and then do the increase, we're gonna get the same result? And the reason is because we just have a big total. We could think of a big total, which is Saturday plus Sunday admission prices. That's a big total. That's split into 2. So you could either take the average, which means balancing this total, but keeping the total, and do the increase, or you could just first do the increase of these two parts and then take the average. You're starting anyways with the same big total, which is the sum of these two values. This is the real mathematical object that you're operating on. So this is an interesting discussion. You could use visual ways as discussed in the booklet to explain this procedure. So let's do it. Let's first do the average. So average, and so the average, we add 4.25 plus 9.25, and we divide this by 2. So that's 13.5 divided by 2, which is essentially, so what you want to do is divide 13.5 by 2. So that's gonna be 6. because of 12 divided by 2. And then we have 1.5 extra. We have to divide it by 2, and that's 0.75. So that's the average, 675. You can quickly check. And yeah, if I multiply 675 by 2, I get 13.5. And now let's do the increase. And so this is the advantage of this second option. We just have to do 1% increase. So let's do it. Again, you could either take a calculator, but let me illustrate a different method using mental math. That goes like this. So 100% is 675, right? That's 100%. 10% is 0.0675. And now you do a 5%, which is just dividing this by 2. So that's going to be 0, and then you could say the following. This is a 2. And now I have to divide 750 into 2, or 75 into 2, kind of the same. Let me do it here. 750 into 2. That's the same as 600 plus 150 into 2. So that's 300 plus 75, which is 375. So I put it here. Okay. Sorry, this should be a 3 because I'm dividing by 2 and not by 3. So, and then 15%, which is what we're looking for. I could either add these two values or just triplicate the 5. You have two options. Let's triplicate the 5. So let's triplicate the 5%. And so we multiply this by 3. So let's do it. So 5 times 3 is 15. So this is a 5 and I have an extra 1. 7 times 3 is 21. So that gives me a 2 plus an extra 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Oh, sorry, 3 times 3 is 9. I have an extra 2, so that's 11. 3 times 3 is 9. I have an extra 1, so that's 10. So this is my increase. And finally, I'm ready to answer the question because I'm looking for an increase, so I just add these two values, this guy and this guy. That's how you find an increase. So you'll just get 7, comma, and then you get a 7, 625. So 776.25, which is the same as in the previous slide. So you get the same value.